Well, would you look at that? It's been nearly half a decade, but the PlayStation 5 finally has something akin to a good exclusive. Welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and yes, if you hadn't heard, as Astrobot receives near universal praise, Team Asobi Head reveals key to success is hiring devs who are genuinely interested, not just in the project itself, but also the soul behind it. Well, would you look at that? It's almost like the things that me and Cassie and Smash JT and Hypnotic and the whole crew have been saying. When you got folks that care about the product, when you got folks that got investment, emotional, when they got a soul and they want to bear that soul in the art of video games, it will naturally beget a good product. No need for diversity hires, no need for trying to push messages and agendas. You just gotta care about the game and you gotta care about the artistry of the industry. We're gonna get into this article before we do. Hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and you do love to see it. I mean, we're talking about some positive news today, and of course, don't get me wrong, we're gonna make some equivalencies to, Concord here. We can't be too positive. I mean, it is still my channel. We gotta do some roasting, a little bit of dunking, but really, it's almost like amazing to the fact that we see day in, day out, the game industry falling further and further to the bottom. And then something like this happens. Astrobot. Now, I ain't got a PS5. I ain't got a PS5 because, let's be real, I can get whatever I need on the PC and on the Nintendo consoles. I'm a switching PC guy myself. That being said, dude, I've played the first Astrobot. I got buddies who have it. I want the second one to be successful. I want it to be just as good, if not better than the first one. And for folks to buy it and love it and enjoy it. Because I think this is what gaming is missing. I think this is one of the key ingredients of what gaming needs. So when it does come out on top, then bingo, bango, bongo, you know your boy's going to be stoked about it. But there is still lessons to be learned with what is going on in gaming, specifically from the philosophies of Asobi Games. With the release of Team Asobi's Astrobot, PlayStation 5 players appear to finally have a game worth not only playing, but also writing home about. Spit's always up in here, throwing a little bit of shade, like, you love it. Oh, PS5 players finally have a game worth not playing. It's like, again, what do you guys have? Concord? I hope all 12 of you had fun with Concord for the 10 days that it was active. Let's be real, the PlayStation 5 has been a joke, so they need every little dub they can get. The latest entry into the platforming series and the first title to be developed by Team Asobi since Sony made an independent entity following the 2021 shuttering of their parent company, Japan Studios. Astrobot takes players with controlling the eponymous Astrobot and helping him jump, float, and even punch his way through the wilds of space, all while collecting various treasures and trophies. For those of you that have not played this game, I mean, first of all, anyone watching me that has a PlayStation 5, well, I know you played this game because, it's one of only like 3 good exclusives for the entire platform. But for those of you that don't play this game or don't have a PS5, it actually is a really fun game, and it is just a love letter to the history of PlayStation. It does not play like a modern game. It plays like something that would have released on the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, which, again, I think is what the game industry is sorely lacking. We are missing the Spyro the Dragons. We're missing the Ratchet and Clanks, the original Ratchet and Clanks, that is. We're missing the Jak and Daxters. We're missing, the Super Mario 64s on pretty much any platform that isn't an indie game or a Nintendo game. Like, it's kind of amazing that when you do go back to that formula that worked for years, that formula that's made players so happy and hyped, and you do it with love and care and reverence, that the game sells and gets monstrously good reviews. Normally, one of the selling points of the PS5 exclusive is its heavy thematic reliance on PlayStation history. Yes, nostalgia done right, because for somebody like myself that has been here since the PlayStation 1 days, I mean, I've been here since the beginning of the PS1, hell, I've been doing this since the Super Nintendo / Genesis days. That was my entry point into gaming. But for someone who's been there since the PS1 and thinks the PS2 might be, are in the running for greatest game system of all time, I'm a Dreamcast guy personally, but I see the argument for PS2. Then the PS3 was shaky, but fine, it ended up being alright. PS4 was really, really good. And then the PlayStation 5, man, you may as well buy yourself a Commodore 64. You're gonna have more fun on that. Like, let's be real. So yes, a dub like this, the nostalgia done right, somebody that can just travel back in time and think, oh, I remember listening to Beck's first album while playing Spyro the Dragon, and this game evokes those sort of emotions, that sort of nostalgia, but it's also a good, well-made, competent, enjoyable game. That, again, speaking on the first one, I haven't played the second because I have a PS5, but from everything everyone's told me that owns it, that has it, yeah, no, it's doing what it should be doing. A bit of Astrobot's world, from his ship to planets he explores to other robots he comes across in his travels, taking some bit of visual inspiration from either classic title or console. And through a marriage of this respectful nostalgia with solid gameplay, Team Asobi have delivered a critical and audience winner. That is so rare nowadays, critical and audience, because think about it. The audience rejected The Last of Us Part 2. The audience rejected Concord. The audience has rejected pretty much every single bit of slop that Sony has thrown their way. But the critics been lapping it up. The critics been like, oh, feed us more, Big Daddy Sony. Put your oppressive Japanese and name-only boot right down here on our little pin pads and clipboards. We love you. And it is so damn annoying, because who are you trying to please? Are you trying to please the other writers that are going to be saying the exact same things as you in all of their articles on websites that don't matter, like Polygon and Kotaku and the Mary Sue, and the list goes on and on and on. Oh my god, don't even forget the gamer. But no, here we have a rare moment, especially a rare moment in PS5 gaming, where the critics and the audiences are in alignment. That's honestly kind of amazing. Per review score aggregator OpenCritic, Astrobot currently holds an average critic score of 95 across 85 reviews. And that's a pretty damn good number of reviews, with near every professional media outlet giving the game either a perfect or near perfect rating. An impressive result by any metric. What truly sells Astrobot's success is the fact that it took a team of just sub 100 employees. Let's repeat that. Sub 100 employees, which means this whole game, development, art, distribution, marketing, done by less than a hundo. Take goddamn notes, Ubisoft. You're wondering why Star Wars Outlaws is a disgusting mess? You wonder why the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be an absolute failure? Now, I get it. You're going to blame racism, but no, it's because you're taking 3 to 5 to 6 to 700 people, slapping them all together to work on a game that has no soul, a game that has no artistic integrity, a game that customers are not asking for, that fans are not asking for, and then you're getting upset at the enormous budget and the fact that it doesn't sell. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. To craft a genuinely good PlayStation exclusive, while the sister studios all struggle to produce anything less than controversial, with a far larger workforces and far more inflated budgets. Bingo, bango, bongo is exactly like your boy said. What can I tell you? I know what I'm talking about here. Spencer knows what he's talking about, and that's because Spencer listens to me. He's my guy on the inside. I got him in my pocket. No, Spencer's also got a good head on his shoulders. Just look at Naughty Dog and The Last of Us 2, Sony Santa Monica with the new God of War series, and of course, Firewalk Studios with, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, Concord.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh my god, that guy, I'm still reeling from the fact that had a 10-day window. That was beautiful. Good job, gamers. I give you guys a lot of shit, but well done. And according to Team Asobi themselves, the secret of their game's quality is no secret, but rather a very simple bit of common sense. Again, something that is also sorely lacking in the modern-day gaming space. Rather than just picking people to do a job, they instead choose to hire those individuals who are specifically passionate about the studio's work. Can you imagine? Think of it. Imagine Marvel Comics or DC Comics saying, man, look at all these lonely losers who grew up reading comic books and got put in the lockers in 6th grade and didn't get to go on dates and had a kick me sign slapped on their back at junior prom, and then the entire football team proceeded to just whip their ass. Imagine if that person decided to leave prom crying, go home, do a slow dance with his mom, and then go up to his bedroom and read Spider-Man or the X-Men or the Avengers, and then work on his craft and begin drawing and begin just really nailing it, and then would later go on to become a writer or an artist for Marvel. That is who they should want to hire. Now, that is not how Marvel does their hiring practices nowadays. They don't grab passionate once fans who want to turn that love into a career, and the gaming industry doesn't either. I use comics as an example because comics and gaming have the exact same problem. They're too busy focusing on, hey, who can we hire to make ourselves optically look like we care about insert social cause of the month here? Hey, what can we do just to make sure that we've got more women on staff so that we look good on the ESG paperwork, even if they've never worked on a game in their lives? In fact, used to make fun of people for playing games, don't care about video games. Hey, I got an idea. Let's hire us Anita Sarkeesian. There's a throwback name for all of you guys. That is the way the gaming industry has been working since 2014 and continues to work, which is why we need to give some mad love to Asobi when they actually have this level of care and quality assurance when it comes to their hiring process and weeding out their hires. We've always kept a long-term approach for just not growing the team for one project, but growing the team for the future and to keep people. Look at that! A business business focusing on retention. You don't see that very often. Studio head Nicholas Dosso told Video Game Chronicles' Andy Robinson during a recent Astrobot-centric interview. For that reason, we've been really cautious about growing the team slowly, he continued. It is important for us to ensure that every member of our team is bringing something special and unique and has a real game mind. Really, you telling me that special, unique thing isn't who they go to bed with, or what the color of their skin is, or what god they pray to, so long as it's not the right Christian god? You telling me this special, unique thing has to do with the primary subject of gaming? Well, slap my ass and call me Judy, because I didn't think I would hear a modern-day developer say something along those lines. When we do interviews, we check first for whether they know our games and are genuinely interested, not just in the product itself, but the soul behind it, Ducey further announced, because if you're able to relate to the game and to the consumer, you know, so see, they want their employees to relate to the consumer because that's the fucking obvious issue. I don't even want to really give these guys credit because I don't like giving credit for just doing what should be done already. It's like, oh man, that guy's such a good parent. He puts his kid to bed and then makes them dinner. Well, no fucking shit. That's kind of like bare minimum stuff you're supposed to do if you're a parent. But again, with video games, the modern video game industry failing to the absolute degree that it has failed, we are almost put in a position where we have to give major accolades just for them doing the obvious and objectively correct thing. If you care about how the user will feel when they're playing, then it's likely that you care about how the people around you every day feel, right? That's an important conversation we have when we hire, he concluded. Besides the skills, it's also about the attitude and the fit with the team. Sometimes that means it takes us a long time. Wait. So you are worried about the way they fit with the team? I was under the impression that studios and companies nowadays were supposed to be like, well, hey, even this blue-haired, green-haired, Landwell feminist that goes by 8 and 12 different pronouns and will sleep with anything that walks through the door. I was under the impression that you need to hire them anyway, even though they're going to make it an absolute nightmare for anyone in the department to work with. But hey, it looks good at the optics. It looks good on paper. Now that being said, someone makes an off-color joke and they go to HR and HR takes their side and bingo, bango, bongo, maybe you just lost your best programmer because he dared say something that could be perceived by this fake human as a sexist, somebody on the nose ring brigade. Oh my god, well, I guess a little bit of common sense does in fact go a long way. It's not because you absolutely tick every single box. You never truly know until you spend time together. But yeah, we are very cautious. Astro Boy is now available exclusively for PS5. I cannot believe we are in a position where we get to take a look at a Sony product, a Sony exclusive, and say, wow, you guys did good. Not only did you good in developing a good game, but you do good in terms of your ideology and your philosophy for your hiring practices. Now, of course, we are just taking them at their word. We don't actually know what, how much of this is true, but he's saying all the right things. And considering the quality of the game itself, I would say they are probably implementing these practices because there is a notable difference in Star Wars Outlaws and Astrobot 2. Or Astro Boy, I should say. It's amazing. It's incredible, but that being said, don't get me wrong, I still think Sony is a garbage company. I ain't exactly all on board Team Sony yet, not hopping in that Sony train right into the Sony tration. I just like to celebrate when things go well and also make a point that maybe if other game companies did this, maybe if Ubisoft was doing this, maybe if Capcom was doing this, maybe if Sega was doing this, or Square Enix was doing this, or Blizzard was doing this, or insert any other company you can think of that is having the level of issues that we are seeing right now, if any of them were doing this, then maybe the game industry wouldn't be in such shambles and you wouldn't have channels like mine or like Smash JT's absolutely tearing them down, destroying them at any and every opportunity we get, only to be proven right over and over and over by the colossal flops and failures that are games like Dustborn and Concord. It really isn't that difficult, or at least it shouldn't be. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and not always about the video game industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course get involved with over 80 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.